So you have a job, but you want to quit. You know you need money, but you don't want to work for it. Does this sound like you? I've been there too. But what if I told you that you can get paid without trading your time? Here's the secret. You must be willing to listen to some unpopular truths about money. And today I'm going to share one of the most influential books I've ever read, which changed my entire mindset about money forever. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it's not your average personal finance book. It will make you question everything you learned about money in school. Now let me tell you a little story. There were once two dads who had raised two sons. Both families lived in the same neighborhood and they always did things together. So the two boys grew up thinking that their lives would look exactly like their father's. But one day they decided to go fishing. After hours of trying to catch fish, they returned home empty-handed. The poor dad said, "I told you so," while the rich dad said, "Come back tomorrow morning. I have something special planned." The next day, they went back to the same spot. Again, they waited for hours, but still no fish. However, this time, the rich dad gave each boy a fishing net. They tried again, but this time with the nets, and they ended up catching so many fish that they could barely carry them all. The rich dad then said, "If you work hard and use the right tools, you can achieve anything." In this story, the poor dad represents the conventional way of thinking about money. He believed that working harder was the only way to earn more money. On the other hand, the rich dad represents the unconventional way of thinking about money. He knew that using the right tools was what made him wealthy. But what are these tools? And how can we use them in our own lives? Well, let me take you on a journey back in time to when I was just starting out in life. I remember sitting at my desk in high school dreaming of one day becoming a successful entrepreneur. That's when I met the two dads. My real dad was a hardworking government employee who had a stable job and benefits. He worked tirelessly to provide for my family and always emphasized the importance of education. He wanted me to graduate from university and get a good job because he believed that having a degree and a steady income was the key to success. On the other hand, my best friend's dad was a successful businessman who owned several companies. He saw me working hard in school and offered to mentor me, sharing his knowledge and experience with me. He taught me that if I followed my real dad's advice, I would end up just like him, stuck in a job I didn't like. He claimed that my real dad was actually a poor dad because even though he worked hard, he was still just a middle-class government employee. To me, this was shocking. How could my own dad be considered poor if he worked so hard? Well, the rich dad explained that the difference between him and my real dad was that my dad saw himself as an employee first and foremost, whereas the rich dad saw himself as a business owner first and foremost. In fact, he shared that most people fall into one of two categories. Either they are employees who trade their time for money or they are business owners who make money without trading their time. Most people are afraid to take the second path because it comes with more risk and uncertainty. But the rich dad insisted that it was the only path to true wealth and freedom. He explained that the key to building wealth is to focus on creating value instead of just trading time. By creating value, you can generate income from multiple sources and eventually reach a point where your income starts exceeding your expenses, allowing you to live the lifestyle you desire. But it wasn't just about making more money. The rich dad also taught me that the purpose of making money was not to buy material possessions, but to buy the ability to do what I wanted. He explained that being rich meant having the financial freedom to live life on my own terms and not being trapped by societal expectations or limitations. But how do you escape the rat race and become financially free? According to the rich dad, it all starts with changing your mindset. You see, most people think that money is earned by those who work hard, but they couldn't be more wrong. According to the rich dad, money is earned by those who understand the game of money. He explained that the poor and middle class play the money game differently than the rich. They follow rules that keep them trapped in a cycle of working for money rather than making money work for them. For example, the poor and middle class tend to focus on increasing their income by working harder, getting promotions and investing in safe, low-risk investments such as savings accounts and bonds. On the other hand, the rich understand that the real source of wealth comes from owning assets that generate income. So what are assets? Simply put, assets are anything that puts money in your pocket. For example, stocks, bonds, real estate, and businesses are all assets. These assets generate income through dividends, interest, rental income, or appreciation in value. The rich dad explained that the difference between the rich and everyone else is that the rich are the only ones who are willing to invest in themselves, their education, and their future. They understand that knowledge and skills are the most valuable assets they can invest in, and that doing so will lead to greater financial rewards in the long run. While the poor and middle class often avoid investing in themselves, instead choosing to spend their money on consumer goods and services. The rich dad also taught me that it is important to be aware of the hidden costs of certain decisions. For example, buying a new car might seem like a great idea at the time, but it can end up costing you a lot of money in the long run due to things like depreciation, insurance, maintenance, and repairs. On the other hand, investing in a reliable used car can save you a lot of money upfront and prevent you from making a huge mistake. One of the most important lessons I learned from the rich dad is that it is essential to have multiple streams of income. According to him, relying on just one source of income is risky and can lead to financial problems if that income source dries up. He explained that the key to financial freedom is to create multiple income streams that can sustain your lifestyle if one of them fails. For example, if you lose your job, you can rely on your other income sources to support yourself until you find a new one. Having multiple income streams also provides you with more flexibility and options in life. You won't have to worry about taking a job you don't like just to make ends meet. Instead, you can pursue your passions and interests knowing that you have other sources of income to fall back on. One of the ways to create multiple income streams is by investing in assets that generate passive income. As I mentioned earlier, assets are anything that puts money in your pocket. So investing in assets can be a great way to diversify your income sources and achieve financial freedom. For example, dividend-paying stocks can provide you with a steady stream of passive income. Investing in real estate can also be a great option as it can generate rental income and appreciate in value over time. I remember when I first started investing, I was so excited when I received my first dividend check from a stock I had invested in. It felt great to know that I was earning money without having to actively work for it. Of course, investing does come with risks, and it's important to do your research and invest wisely. But the potential rewards are definitely worth it. Overall, the most important lesson I learned from the rich dad is that it is never too late to start working towards financial freedom. No matter what your current financial situation is, you can take steps to improve it and create a better future for yourself. It just takes a change in mindset, a willingness to learn, and the courage to take action. Now I want to ask you a question. What are you doing today to ensure a better financial future for yourself? Remember, the first step towards financial freedom is to start learning about money and investing. Knowledge is the key to unlocking a world of opportunities, and I encourage you to embrace it. Don't be afraid to ask questions, seek out mentors, and educate yourself on personal finance and investing. The more you learn, the more you'll grow and the closer you'll get to achieving your financial goals. So don't wait any longer. Start today and take control of your financial future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy investing.